Okay, so I'm recording. So if you guys don't want to be recorded, you can have your cameras off, just for your information. So I have started introducing what we are doing in Neurocom 25 Lab. And the interesting thing is that we are the only and the first actually learning, unlearning, and relearning lab in the world. I always like highlighting the first, and that's not because of pride. It's just because it, goes deep to my values, my personal values. I believe in rarity and in uniqueness, in being yourself, because there are so many different fields and there are so many things that where you can be the first, and this is how it should be, because leadership is about being yourself, right? Is about the rare. So about, the world is only interested in you. So what we are doing, we are being ourselves, and we are the best in that. And we are the first in that, right? So nobody is better than you, yeah? If you are in your own, element, if you are doing what you were meant to do, you will be the first. This is quite obvious. So this is not the subject of pride in this case. So I was talking about the three dimensions of learning before we move into AI versus AI topic. So lifelong learning, this is something that everybody is familiar with. Yeah, this is the length. This is the time that learning never finishes. Yeah, learning is evergreen, as I call it. Yeah, it's evergreen. Yeah, life is changing. We have to adopt. But there is also, which might be surprising for some people, life deep learning and life wide learning. So life deep learning is when you go deeper. Can you please? I'm having the webinar. So life deep learning, just a second, guys. I wanted to stay in the dining room, in the kitchen, but that's not the best idea. So I will wait. And then, okay, can you hear me? Yeah, you can hear me now. So life deep learning. So it means you go deeper and you learn according to your values. Yeah, so we have, when we, in the context of happiness, and this is the happiness studies thing, when we talk about life deep learning as a subject. So in the context of happiness, you go deeper. It means you go deeper into the things that are your eudaimonic happiness, yeah, and your hedonic happiness. So your hedonic happiness is what makes you happy here and now, right? It's the pleasure of life, is what you savor, what you enjoy doing. And your eudaimonic happiness is your long-term happiness, yeah, or as we call it, the life well lived. Yeah, so the life which has virtue, yeah, the virtuous life. And this is the science of unlearning, because we basically unlearn the things that go against our values, or the things that do not serve us anymore. Yeah, or the things that just don't make us happy. The successful people, the wealthy that I know, these are the people who always reject the things that either do not make them happy, do not make them healthy, or do not make them wealthy, right? So these three things. So whenever you do something, it's good to stop and think, does it make me happy? Does it make me healthy? And does it make me wealthy, right? So if the answer is yes, so probably you might go for it. Yeah, it's like a stop and check thing for you. And this is like deep learning. So doing the things and learning also deeper. Yeah, it's not just digging deeper into the subject, but also learning the things that really are important for you, either here and now or in a long term. Yeah, live deep learning and live wide learning. This is one of the most interesting parts because here, as I said, at Harvard University, we are involved in a project related to the rebuilding of Ukraine. And we talk about the infrastructure. And the infrastructure can be the infrastructure, not just, the physical walls that we see, but also the mental infrastructure and even the physical infrastructure, the built environment. It affects us in a way that we also learn. So life-wide learning, it means learning happens everywhere, even at McDonald's. You can learn even at McDonald's. So it's not about learning is not confined within particular environments. It's everywhere. So we know from neuroscience research as well that our default mode network, yeah, when we are in a calm state or in a reflective state, all this, information that comes into us, we transfer it, yeah, we make connections with something that we already know, and we look at it from a different angle, and this is live wide learning. So I just wanted to briefly introduce what we do, and this is the main framework. So we apply this framework to everything that we do, to our workshops, to our seminars, webinars, working with clients, and research as well. So more papers, research papers are coming. So if you're interested, you will be willing to, you will be able to read them. And also you will be able to see these frameworks there. They are all open access. But today's topic is AI versus AI, embodied cognition in an era of artificial intelligence. So first of all, let me anchor that. AI, artificial intelligence, is a buzzword, and it's great that people are interested because AI is here to stay, right? It's not going to go anywhere. So we have to be literate, and at least if you are not using it yet in your work, in your studies, at least you need to know what it is, right? And how it operates. So, but the second AI that is mentioned on the title is aesthetic intelligence. And this is quite unusual for some people, as far as I know. Many people don't know about the existence of aesthetic intelligence, or they might, have some have different perception about what it actually is. So aesthetic intelligence is not about beauty. It is about beauty, yeah, because the word aesthetics means beautiful. But if we get deeper, and in Greek language, aesthetics is the perception, yeah, how we see things. And this is that environmental component, yeah, the built environment component that we are going to talk about. And of course, it's related to neuroscience. And by the way, in my opinion, people who really can teach you something about AI are not even the people who are the engineers or, who are the computer scientists working with the things pertaining to how AI functions, but people who work who work in cognitive sciences, yeah. So people who know neuroscience and know what intelligences are about. So these are probably the best people to be talking about AI for you to understand AI in a way that you can be better than AI. Because understanding AI, as like reading the instruction, knowing how to operate, knowing how to use it and when to use it is, of course, important. But that's one thing. It's not something that will make you, competitive when it comes to competing with AI, because we are now competing actually with AI, and this competition has already started. So let's move into the topic. And at first, addressing, I will keep the track of time. Yeah, addressing the topic of AI, it's good to think about embodied cognition. And this is the whole field of research. It's been there for a long, long time, even before the decade of the brain, the 90s, when we started actively started doing neuroscience research, and we had all these EEGs and all these sort of devices for neuroscience research being produced, and we could, have deeper understanding. So before that, the scientists and philosophers, cognitive scientists and philosophers, yeah, philosophy of mind, they knew what embodied cognition is. Yeah, and for example, Iran Nejad in the 80s, he talked about biofunctional understanding. So, what is embodied cognition? As humans, I will put it simple, we have body. AI doesn't have a body. This is something that you have to understand straight away. And of course, this is obvious, but if you get the point, it will be much easier for you to know what to do, how to approach AI in your life. Yeah. But AI doesn't have a body. And this is what makes us privileged. And cognitive science, neuroscience explains why you are privileged, yeah, in front of AI. If you stand next to AI, why you are more important and you are better than AI, because you have a body. And cognition is embodied. What does it mean? Neuroscience, cognitive sciences, cognition, yeah, cognition means thinking, is all about biofunctional understanding. So our capacities for understanding and our capacities for reasoning, yeah, making decisions, drawing conclusions, they are grounded in organism, yeah, us, our body, and environment interaction. And this is why I presented the 3D approach that we have been doing in Neurocom 25 Lab. And life-wide learning is is one hand, yeah, so to speak, of this 3D approach. Life-wide learning, our environment and organism interaction. Yeah, so organism, us, and environment, we always interact, and this is how we learn. Yeah, our learning is perceptual. We perceive. Yeah, we not just we see, we feel, we touch, we smell. And AI doesn't have this opportunity. Thanks God for now. But we are going to talk about it later. And this is our, um, this is our strength. Yeah, being a human means being in the body, means drawing conclusions, having goosebumps. And this is also learning. And when I speak to, very high net worth individuals, and they tell me, I'm not a high net worth individual now, but hopefully I'm going there, but I'm lucky to coach some on the science of learning. And when I talk to them, they always say that sometimes, for them, learning is instinctive. It's like the gut feeling. Yeah, they know, they feel in their stomach, and this is how they make very big decisions, like $1 million decisions, not rationalizing, not just cognitive function, not just in the head, but feeling in the body. Sometimes they see, there was a woman, she's in real estate, and she said, I see the documents and I smell that something is wrong. I don't know what exactly is wrong, but she's been, on the job for a long time. But I feel that something is not quite right there. And then it happened to be when she investigated that there was a problem, and she could have been, badly affected financially and reputationally if she had proceeded with that author. So this is body. Cognition is embodied. We learn. Why do we learn from the teachers that we like? Yeah, we picked, which is actually not a good thing. This is a very low level. If you guys learn only from people that you like, it means you didn't grow up. Because when you grow up, you don't care if you like a person or not, but if they represent, not just say, yeah, if they represent something really valuable or very different perspective from yours, learning from this person can be really beneficial, despite the fact that you don't like the person. But in general, these two, liking or disliking, yeah, might work as well. But if you like the teacher, you learn better, right? You're attracted to them, even this atmosphere around them, you learn from them better. And also why we learn better from professionals. When you see a professional doctor, professional teacher, the way they move, the way they talk, the way they operate, it's much quicker. And it seems from outside that it's, very simple things that they're doing. But because they've been on the job with the body, not just with the mind, they've been doing that for ages, right? They can do simple things, but they're so precise. They're so good, right? And they're so professional because cognition is embodied. So embodied cognition. In AI has cognition, sort of, and we will talk about it. I'm not an expert on AI in terms of, I'm not a computer scientist, but I use AI for work, but I will tell you later exactly in which dimensions I use AI and what I think about it, about using AI, my opinion and my experience. So this is the groundwork, yeah, that we have just laid. So cognition is embodied. AI doesn't have a body. So up until, hopefully, never, AI doesn't have a body. We are the winners, but we have to be learning with all our bodies. We have to be professional, we have to be experienced in the fields that we are involved in, yeah? So, and how does AI work? Yeah, let's get to this. Again, not an expert on AI in particular, but I can understand. I'm an expert in cognitive sciences, so I can more or less understand that they try to imitate, yeah, human cognition. So the process begins by gathering vast amounts of data, yeah, from various sources. So the good thing about AI, and the advantage is that it has access to the vast amount of sources, right? So vast amount, all the information is there on the internet. That's what we don't have. Yeah, we have only our lives experiences. Yeah, so only our bodies, our, how we perceive it, how we feel it. But AI has this plateau, yeah, this vast field of information. Then it processes this data. Human being also processes through all five senses the information that gets to us, yeah, through all our five senses, and the sixth sense, which is a gut feeling, yeah, we process it. Then the collected data is cleaned, yeah, pre-processed to remove some inaccuracies, make it ready for analysis, yeah. So all these algorithms, including the deep learning, machine learning techniques, yeah, they are used to analyze the data. And also, our brains, they are the pattern recognition machines. And AI as well. It was aimed to be the pattern recognition machine, and it is, yeah? So they are trained, the AI systems, they are trained to identify the patterns, to see the, cause and effect relationships, to see the correlations within the data that might be missed even by human beings. And again, the reason for that is that just they have a lot of data, yeah, that we don't have, because our life experiences are limited, right? But the thing is, despite of these limited life experiences, yeah, when we have this sort of we have it on the ring, yeah, AI versus AI, yeah, aesthetic intelligence versus artificial intelligence, we feel life in a way that is required for us at this particular moment, at this particular time, and despite AI. So AI is trained for your, for your request. Yeah, whatever you ask, you send your request to AI, and is looking for for all the data in the world that they have. Yeah, but it's you who can verbalize this request. Yeah, it's you who knows what is needed, what is required, and what might be better for you at this particular moment. This is sort of the same thing as AI has. All these, various sources that that you have somewhere collected in your memory, all those various books that you have read, all those various people that you have met, all those things that you have felt, all those hearts that you had broken, yeah, so all those live human experiences that you have, they are all learning experiences, and they all create this sort of context, and also the environments you surround yourself with. Yeah, the first environment is your body. This is your first environment. The second environment is your home, where you live, yeah, and also where you spend more time, your work. If you go to work, if you go to an office, this is also the environment that forms you. So all these things, they are this sort of, the the gathering, the collection, yeah, of all this information, like similar to AI. But AI is not selective. Yeah, it's just collected all this information, and you can request something from AI and it will give you some answers based on that information. Yeah. But as a bodily experience, as embodied cognition, your information is more related to you. Yeah, it is unique to you. It is rare. Nobody in the world has never felt love in a way that you have felt it. Nobody in the world has never smelled the rose. Even your receptors, they are unique. The smell, yeah, the roses smell nice, but for each of us, these are different, shades, different intricacies. It's just you, it's your unique experience. And so you are the person to actually, compose, to write this inquiry that you want to make to AI to help you operate in what you feel is right, in what is good for you. And this is where we get to the point of right-left hemisphere divide and the attention regulation, what you pay your attention to. Yeah, I'm just gonna go through this one and we will get to the right hemisphere. So again, just to clarify, yeah, again, to summarize what we've just covered, the traditional view, especially Western view about cognition, about thinking, about being smart, about being clever, yeah? Being smart, it means being smart here, knowing a lot, understanding, knowing is not mastery. If we have time, we will talk about mastery because it's also related. But Western intellectualist view, yeah, understanding is purely cognitive operation. grasping concepts and their relations. Yeah, we should understand the concept of this and the concept of that, and how this and that was that movement in art and that movement in philosophy. Mind is separated from the body, yeah? Dualism, dualistic view, abstract, disembodied reasoning, yeah? So all these things together, unfortunately, are not true from the point of view of cognitive science. Cognitive science research has proven absolutely differently that understanding is embodied. Your every cell knows if it's real understanding. Yeah, it's not just knowing here. When the knowing comes here, it should move here into your heart and then move into your arms and hands for doing. It should be thinking, it should be feeling, and it should be doing. This is real understanding. Yeah, we have this the ABC of psychology. Yeah, we have the trilogy of mind. It's cognition, affection, and connection. Yeah, we can't run away from cognition, affection, and connection. This is knowing. Yeah, knowing is not just thinking. Yeah, not just cognition. And reality, yeah, recruits the cognitive science reality. Understanding recruits sensory, motor, and affective processes. Yeah, this is what I have just said: cognition, affection, and connection. Yeah, so sensory, it means affection. Motor, it means behavior. Yeah, connection, we also call it connection. And also the mind inseparable. Just give me a second. Just gonna move a little bit here. Okay. So, and mind is inseparable, yeah, from bodily experiences. This is what cognitive science tells us. Yeah, mind is inseparable. There is no such thing as just cognition or just feeling, yeah, or just acting. They are all interrelated, yeah. And all of it, all this cognitive science, real science, is grounded in organism, organism, environment, interaction. Yeah, organism, environment, interaction. So, what is embodied cognition? Let's look through the key components, but this is something that I have just said probably a couple of times, but I like repeating that again and again for you to really understand and hopefully feel, and later on, hopefully practice as well. So understanding is not merely conceptual thought, yeah, but constitutes our most basic way of being and engaging. That's what I like always saying, that any engagement has the trilogy, yeah, the trilogy of mind, which is thinking, feeling, and acting. Learning is three-dimensional. This is what we are doing in our lab, in Neurocom 25 lab. We apply the 3D framework because learning is three-dimensional. Learning is lifelong. Yeah, learning is life deep. Yeah, lifelong taps into cognition. Life deep taps into affection. And learning is also life wide. Yeah, life wide taps into connection, yeah, or doing, or the behavior. So it constitutes our most basic way of being and engaging with our surroundings in a deep, visceral manner. And the key components and implications for you, I think it can be useful. How can you use this embodied cognition thing in your personal lives? Yeah, so the key components are the sensory patterns, yes, and sensory motor, what we do, motor, and sensory, what we feel, yeah, the five senses, and the sixth sense, yeah, our gut feeling, and environmental interaction. So basically, we can divide embodied cognition into two main groups. Yeah, the first one is the sensory motor affective, the six senses, five senses, and the gut feeling. And the second group is environmental interaction. Yeah, how you interact with your environments. Your first environment, this is your body. Your second environment is your home. And by the way, your better half, your husband or your wife. And that's an interesting topic because for men in particular, we are talking about aesthetic intelligence. Yeah. So this aesthetic component of a man's life is a woman. So a woman is actually the part, if you're a man, yeah, I'm talking to men now. A woman is a part of your embodied cognition. It's the whole different topic, but it's very, very interesting how everything that you surround yourself with, it actually affects your learning and it teaches you. It is your teacher. Yeah, either it is consciously or subconsciously. So, what are the implications? How can we know about what embodied cognition is, and how can we actually use it in our lives? Yeah. So, meaning emerges from bodily experience, which means what does it mean for us? For example, if you are, let's say, scared, you have fear. Yeah, for example, the 99% of people have fear of public speaking. Yeah. So meaning emerges from bodily experience. For you to make, sense what public speaking is and sort of to overcome this fear, you need to do public speaking. And this is embodied cognition. If you do it with your body, you learn. And that's very simple. So whatever is unknown, yeah, because if you have fear, it means from metacognitive research, it means that there is a problem with metacognition. It means the problem is know-how. Yeah, you you don't know how to do it well or well enough for you. That's why you have fear. Yeah, you're a little bit uncertain. It involves this degree of uncertainty, and if this metacognitive uncertainty, you have to do it. Yeah, bodily experience. So the meaning for you in this situation will emerge from bodily experience. So, for instance, if you are afraid of, socializing, talking to people, yeah. So the meaning for you will also emerge from your bodily experience of socializing and talking to people as much as you can. Of course, without, traumatizing yourself and, just pushing yourself. Shouldn't be any violence here. But the key message is this, that the meaning emerges from physical experiences. And as I always say, if I don't know how to use this machine, I put my hands on the machine, right? I want to touch it. I want to see how it looks like. Yeah. I want to check it. I want to just play with it. And you use your mobile phones, your iPhones. You don't give your cognition is resting. Yeah. You don't think, oh, now I will press this button and then I will, click here. And no, it's automatically because it's already embodied in you. The same language learning. When you learn to speak a foreign language, it's also emerging from bodily experience. You open your mouth. It's going to be bad at first. Lots of mistakes. You're going to make plenty of mistakes. And that's totally fine. It's like, I like this analogy when there was no water in the tap for a long time. and then you open the tap and the water that comes out is a bit rusty, it's not clean enough, not clear, but then it will, move on and it will get better. So the meaning emerges from bodily experience. Yeah, this is important. Number one, implication. Number two, all the concepts are grounded in physical interaction. Yeah, so it's very important uh, to physically move, even for your brain, for optimizing your brain, for learning. Physical exercise is very important because of brain derived neurotrophic factor. Yeah, this is the protein that is involved in development and growth and in child's development. Yeah, when we talk about developmental cognitive neuroscience. So moving is extremely important. Dancing is very important for the brain connectivity. Playing music, why? The brain scans revealed that the brains of the musicians and dancers as well, but musicians more, have lots of, firing, all the places are firing, colorful, so to speak, because there is plenty of connectivity and they have more white matter. Yeah, white matter is responsible for connectivity in the brain because playing music involves bodily experience. Your hands are involved, your cognitive functions are involved, your executive functions, it means the how, yeah, the metacognition. And your heart is involved as well because you feel the music. Yeah, if you have seen the pianist, how they play the piano, they're like this. Yeah, they feel the music. They also think about the notes, yeah, to play by the notes, but they also do it with their hands and also their foot as well. So the brains of musicians are different. They are super connective. Yeah, the connectivity level is the highest. The same dancers. I used to be a professional dancer in the past, and I know dancing is also synchronicity, synchronizing your moves, feeling because you're listening to music. Yeah, and also thinking. You have to think as well, and it's all together at the same time. And this is what learning is about, and this is what life is about, and this is embodied cognition. So this is what we are better at. But when we compare ourselves to AI, AI, as I said, doesn't have a body. So AI's cognition is not embodied, but your cognition is embodied, and it's a real privilege. And hopefully they are not going to, because the robots are starting to learn, and the aesthetic research, the neuroaesthetics research, the one that I've been doing in particular, it's been applied to the robot making. Yeah, because the robots, they start to learn how to grasp, how to perceive the environment, how to feel, and they're also some labs are developing for health services, the special robots who might be able to prescribe to the patients, to talk to the patients and feel, how feel them, not just think, yeah, not just analyze the data as AI is doing now. But this is the key. And I promised to move to right-left brain divide. I will move there. Just bear with me. But yeah, an interesting slide. Mastery is embodied understanding. So these days I hear people, it's very good to be multidisciplinary. It's very good to look at things from multiple perspectives, and myself included. This is the way for me as well. But I think, and it's been proven by cognitive science research, that mastery is embodied understanding. Real masters, as we talked about, yeah, musicians and dancers just now, They don't even think. You are all masters of your iPhones. Yeah, you don't think about how to click this and that button. Yeah, it's already embodied in you. Your hands know. Why it is so? Because your hands know. And you also feel, because it's urgent, you need to send this message ASAP, yeah, to your client or to your family member. So it's like, all is connected. Your head, your heart, and your action, yeah, your behavior is connected. So mastery, real masters, they have embodied understanding. Real teachers, they can teach you in a way that they make difficult things simple. Every fool can talk about complicated stuff, yeah, especially in science. But a real teacher will make you understand complex things in a very simple way. This is embodied mastery, because the teachers, they've been opening their mouths physically, they've been feeling this urge to explain, yeah, and they also have been thinking. So the trilogy of mind, cognition, affection, and conation, yeah, the action, it's all combined, and this is embodied understanding. AI does not have embodied understanding, which is aesthetic intelligence, at least not yet. And so biofunctional understanding, again, I like doing the recap before I move to right and left hemispheres divide, again, just for people who might be coming late, or just for you to really understand. Not just think, but start feeling at least, and maybe acting right after the webinar. So biofunctional, yeah, as we talked about Iran Nijat in the 80s, yeah, he wrote papers on embodied cognition. So the bio component, biological organisms evolved to sustain life through organism and environment interaction. Then the functional component, biological activities give rise to cognitive functions that shape meaning making. Yeah, and core insight, understanding arises from bodily existence and embodied interactions. Yeah, so this is very complicated language. Yeah, that's what I have just explained to you in simple terms. Yeah, there is no body without the mind, and there is no mind without the body. Yeah, this is in simple terms. There is the bio component to everything, and the bio component is your body. Right? So you have to be in educational neuroscience. We teach brain optimization. We tell the students and teachers that you have to be well fed. You don't have to be hungry. You have to eat healthy food. Yeah. You have to, try to avoid stress. To have your brain optimized for learning, to have your brain in the proper state for learning, yeah, physical activities. So all these things, they are about embodied cognition. And also, even there was research how the children who have difficulties with mathematics, if you explain numbers to them using fingers, it's called finger gnosis. They are understanding better how the politicians who use gestures, they manipulate you because they use the gestures. They come, they open their arms, and you see that they're wide open to you. They are sincere because it's an embodied understanding. And the functional component, yeah, this is how we function. These biological activities, they give rise to our thinking, yeah, to our reasoning. Okay, I hope it was a useful recap. And what about AI limitations? I really like this slide because it's not that I don't like AI. I'm very grateful to AI because I can do my job much faster now. Otherwise, I would be typing stuff, just using my web designing skills to design the pages of the materials, which I don't have to do now. AI can do it for me, and I can do the thinking, the feeling, and the teaching job. Yeah. So thank you, AI. I don't have a grudge on AI, no problem with AI, but I really like this slide. Just checking. Okay, see you, Jean-Pierre. Yeah, so, but, yeah, I was just checking the chat messages. But traditional AI systems, I'm very happy to read this out loud, lack sensory motor and effective grounding that shapes human understanding. That's what we have been talking about. Yeah. Again, I'm repeating myself for you to understand it. Yeah. So the missing components. Number one, no physical body. Yeah. No motor interaction. No genuine emotional responses. No visceral understanding of concepts. Limited contextual awareness. And here, as we moved to contextual awareness, I would like to briefly explain the right-left brain divide, as I promised. So, as we know, we have the right hemisphere and the left hemisphere, yeah, in our brains. So the right hemisphere, um, don't don't think that it is more creative and this one is more logical. This is not true. These are neuromyths, but they all work together, of course. Yeah. All our brain works to meet our goals and to learn, for example, but the right hemisphere is more contextual. The right hemisphere is the first one to clock in and the first one and the last one to clock out. So imagine, yeah, you come to work, so you need to tap your card to enter the institution and you tap your card back to leave. So this is your right hemisphere. It's all about the context. It's all about this, intricacies, these things that cannot be sometimes explained in words. Yeah, because the left hemisphere is more about the words, is more about the language. And if we think about it, that our right hemisphere is us, and left hemisphere is more about, processing. I would say processing in terms of the engineering, execution, sort of processing information that the right hemisphere had already captured. Yeah, and the left hemisphere can be AI. Yeah, so AI is a wonderful instrument. Yeah, if we can use it properly, if we know how to use it, if we set the right context for AI. Yeah, so this is this difference in hemispheres and especially difference in attention, because it's not about, you're a left hemisphere person or you're more a right hemisphere person. There is no such thing. Yeah, all of us are, we all use both hemispheres, hopefully in equal measure. But it's really important to understand that the right hemisphere is the master and the left hemisphere is the emissary. So the right hemisphere is more important. It is the master. Yeah, it should be, it should rule in all your learning and your interactions. So it sets these contexts and contextual awareness. And you, as a human being in this universe, in your place of work, yeah, in your school, in your university, in your institution, you are the context, not AI. And this is your privilege. It's not AI who is the context. It's not AI with sensory experience, the first to come and the first to go. This is you. Yeah, it's not AI who's genuine, who has experienced, these feelings of love or feelings of loss as just you have experienced. And this is the difference. So we might say that AI is this sort of right, left hemisphere. Yeah, sort of the implementation. Yeah, we can say that, of left hemisphere. But you, as a human intellect, human intelligence, is this right hemisphere implementation. And this is the aesthetic intelligence. And we've got the explanations. Yeah, the right hemisphere functions so you can take a picture, or if you have time to watch the recording, to read the slides. It's about the whole picture, as I said, about understanding the context, the implicit meaning, yeah, and represents broad, sustained, and open attention. Yeah, so the right hemisphere is more open to uncertainty, is more open to novelty, to new things in life, and it also includes something that we have been talking about, which is our emotions and embodied experiences. This is the right hemisphere, the most important hemisphere. It is the first to judge and the last to judge, the first to come, the last to leave. And left hemisphere, yeah, details, logic, how to solve, procedures, how to operate, and so on. Yeah, it perceives life as a patchwork. Yeah, in fragments, without the context. Yeah, out of context. Yeah, it's disembodied hemisphere. So this is what AI is about. AI is disembodied. It has a lot of data. Yeah, lots of data from all over the world, but it disembodied. It's not connected to you unless you type in your inquiry. Yeah, and then you have to modify it, and then again and again, up until AI finally understands what you mean. Yeah, so the left hemisphere, as I just said, is an emissary. It's not the master. Yeah, it's better suited for practical tasks, yeah, that were given to it, but it doesn't have to be in control. Okay, so AI is like the left hemisphere if we use it properly. And embodied AI is the path forward. This is what the researchers are thinking about. So, building AI systems that learn through physical interaction with their environments. This is what I've just said, yeah, previously. So robotics research, simulation environments, sensory motor learning, effective developmental approach. They think that AI might learn as children. Yeah, as children learn progressively. It's called developmental cognitive neuroscience. So we have to, guys, be mindful, yeah, be cautious. So, and the quick conclusion. True intelligence requires body that interacts, body that thinks, feels, and acts. It's embodied. Yeah, AI can only evolve to be embodied, but still it will take a lot of time, and of course it will never have this human soul. So the future is for us to know how to learn with all our body. Yeah, and I would like to read the abstract. This is the extract from our, not abstract, extract from our report, from Neurocom 25's report on aesthetic intelligence. I'm not going to read all of it, but I will just read what is aesthetic intelligence, because the topic of the webinar was AI vs AI, yeah, aesthetic intelligence versus artificial intelligence. So an ability to align situational meaning with global meaning, to find coherence and understanding, as well as an ability to encode embodied meaning and express meaning through embodiment is what we do in Eurocom 25, and we call it aesthetic intelligence. It's an it's an intelligence of the future, and it's absolutely necessary in the new era of AI. The reason is that AI is taught to make meaning by identifying patterns and relationships within existing databases, whereas an aesthetically intelligent human being is also capable of learning from one's emotions and senses. Moreover, only human beings can express meaning through embodiment by self-expression, mind-body connection, and embodied art creation. Thank you. That's it. So if you have any questions, you're welcome, or we are going to say goodbyes and hopefully see you next time. Follow our November webinars schedule. We'll be having very interesting webinars in November as well. It's bi-weekly and it's supposed to be every Wednesday, but I'm thinking because we have the Harvard course on Wednesdays, and sometimes we have to stay longer and maybe need some time to discuss the things after the course. So I might be rethinking the day, but still you will get the schedule very quickly. So thank you guys for watching there, and please write your questions down. I mean the people watching on Facebook, okay? If you have any questions, I have the question in the chat. Yeah, thanks. I see you, Nikolai. Thank you. Bye. Okay, no questions here. All right, anyways, thank you for coming. We didn't have many people today, but if you register for webinars, you can always get the recording. Yeah, so if you can't make it, still register. Okay, see you next time. Ta-da. Yes, thank you, Artem. Let's stay in touch.